There's been a significant response to proposals to build an anaerobic digester at Wessex Farm on the Sherborne Causeway. Shaftesbury Town Council, Gillingham Town Council, Motcombe Parish Council have all objected on a variety of grounds, with noise and light pollution, smells and increased traffic on the A30, as well as visual appearance, all been raised as concerns. The company behind the scheme, First Estate Biomethane, will face locals in a public meeting next month. That news has been welcomed by nearby resident Dawn Hopkins, who submitted a 61 signature petition against the development.
I haven't spoken to anybody that wants it, to be honest.
Dawn says there was strong opposition.
They were aghast that would be happening in that area of natural beauty.
As you've heard, an extension's been granted until the 14th of November. To have your say, email Motcombe Parish Council. It will be sent to Dorset Council's planning team. Dawn's pleased because, with the well-publicised technical issues with Dorset Council's website, several people couldn't get online to submit their responses.
People were just outraged and not even being able to have their word.
Residents have complained there's not been enough information about these plans considering the potential impact of the developments. Motcombe Parish Council has secured an extension for residents' responses until the 14th of November, 3 days after the planned public meeting, when the company will answer questions. In the past few days, the Environment Agency has written to Dorset Council to remind planners that anaerobic digestion is an inherently odorous activity, and they say appropriate measures must be taken to protect local amenity. Some of the 60 respondents on the Dorset Council website have made clear their concerns about what they believe will be a negative impact from the proposal, and some locals haven't held back.
We are not happy with our beautiful county being morphed into something akin to the desolation of Mordor. We may have flares, odious emissions, an increase in unpleasant HGV loads. Don't take the taxpayers of Dorset's consent for granted. If this makes our lives worse, we will close it down. We're being pushed too far.
That's the dramatic reply from Michael Barclay of Great Lane, one of around 60 people who've objected. Many residents share Mr Barclay's anger over the way the application has been handled. Ian Story of Fern Cottage called the consultation procedurally unfair, saying even homes identified in the applicant's own documents as being affected weren't directly notified. Steve Beecham of Enmore Green said he was disappointed that those directly affected have not been contacted, while Helen Bertzeller admitted she only learned of the plans by sheer luck after hearing Alfred's coverage. Several others, including James Farrow of Parsons Pool, described the process as clandestine and poorly communicated. Traffic and safety fears are a dominant theme. The A30 Sherborne Causeway is already considered dangerous. Alexander Vaux of Locks Lane reminded planners there'd been over 30 accidents in the past 10 years along this short 4-kilometre stretch of road. Many residents say the additional heavy goods vehicles would make it worse. Julian and Teresa Day of Longcross said walking along the road, which has no pavement, is already life-threatening. Richard and Karen Tippins, also of Longcross, questioned the developer's transport data and urged Dorset Council to commission an independent highways review. Nicholas Gibson said lorries frequently break the 30-mile-per-hour limit, while Ian Story said if the plan were approved, there'd need to be speed reductions, double white lines and average speed cameras funded by a Section 106 agreement. And the tip-in said there'd need to be a deceleration lane to manage HGV movements safely before any permission is granted. Odour is the most frequently cited concern. Warren Grant, who lives opposite Wessex Farm, said existing slurry mixing there already produces an eye-watering smell and that any expansion would make living in my home unbearable. Tracy Buckingham called the 24-hour operation abhorrent, warning of flies and possible health risks to people with weakened immune systems. First Estate Biomethane says odour will be contained. Their assessment claims the normal operation of the odour control unit will effectively prevent unpleasant smells escaping through the feedstock store doors. It adds that a comprehensive odour management plan monitored by the Environment Agency will ensure significant fugitive releases are negligible. But resident Hazel Kerr said there was no concrete information on how odour would be controlled, referencing a similar site in Basingstoke where people were subjected to awful smells. Others, including Dorothy Westerman and Samantha Peters, raised fears about how the wind direction could blow odours towards Shaftesbury. Amanda and Robin Ives of Hunt's Farmhouse warned that, according to the applicant's own odour report, the prevailing winds are southwesterly, and they say that would carry smells and noise towards Shaftesbury's slopes, affecting residents at Longcross, Enmore Green and beyond. Landscape and visual impact feature heavily too. The Ives said it would negatively impact the natural beauty of the area and enjoyment for residents and tourists alike, a view echoed by Ian Story, who warned that the local tourism economy could be negatively affected given the increase in traffic, the probable increase in odour and the blight on the beautiful historic landscape.
People are worried for the tourist industry. The town seems to be on the up with lots of new shops opening, and there's people are saying that if that monstrosity is viewable from Castle Hill, it's going to deter people coming to the town. So that's going to be a big negative for the town. So with 7 jobs that this industry is going to create, it's going to be far. We're going to lose far more in the tourist industry and in the shops in the towns.
David Lamb questioned whether the plant would decrease property values, while Alan Kerr of Well Lane summed up local sentiment bluntly. The only things going for this are profits for the landowner and the developer. Claire Young described the digester as an eyesore in an area of natural beauty visible from Castle Hill, while Beth and Alexander Vaux said it would scar the ancient rural forest landscape and threaten trees under preservation orders. They wrote that the area from Locks Lane up to Shaftesbury has a blanket tree protection order. This is to protect notable trees as well as the landscape group value of trees. They say this has not been addressed in the applicant's arboricultural report. Environmental and water quality concerns also run through the objections. Andrew Garrett of Cherry Orchard warned that the land gets waterlogged in winter and that toxic leakage could pollute streams and harm wildlife. Dr. and Mrs. Tippins raised the risk of nutrient runoff reaching the nearby breach fields, site of special scientific interest.
Effluent or anything that's in the lagoons, if we have a large amount of rain, is going to flood across the fields, which it always does every winter. So, and that would be going down into the streams, Fernbrook, and also into the lake there. The other thing hasn't been said is its close proximity to Duncliffe Hill with the ancient woodland and all the wildlife that lives there, the bats, owls, which I'm just down in the valley between the two, and it's alive with owls at night. So I think that will have a huge impact on the wildlife. Toads in my garden, basically wildlife and flooding would be definitely one of my questions.
Dawn Hopkins, organiser of the Petition, opposing the anaerobic digester on the A30 at Sherborne Causeway. And you can put your questions to the company in the public meeting session at Motcombe Parish Council's meeting on the 11th of November at Motcombe Memorial Hall. And if you want to share your views with Dorset Council planners, the planning portal is now closed, but it can be passed on via Motcombe Parish Council if you email your response to motcombepc@motcombeparishcouncil.org.uk. We spoke today with John Turville from the applicant company and told him we'll talk with him and share the company's view at the meeting.